Hello, dudes and dudettes, and welcome to episode number 82 of Makai-World Reviews. I am, of course, the Eternal Makai, master of minds and of men. We are deep into it. Week 4 of the leg drop given, steroids taken, races being Hulk Hogan month. We've had some stinkers thus far, but how will a film with such a great title as Three Ninjas High Noon on Mega Mountain fare? Well, I think we all know the answer to that, but let's go ahead and find it anyways. Of course, before we start, you know what it is. Subscribe. No one else is doing Werner Herzog month, then Hulk Hogan month. No one can. No one has that but me. Subscribe. Find out what next month. What could it be? Who knows? I don't even know. Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain. On Mega Mountain? At Mega Mountain. Directed by Sean McNamara, who also co-wrote, shockingly, would seem like shows like The Secret World of Alex Mack, even Stevens, and That's So Raven under his belt, he would be a shoo-in for a kids' movie. I guess we'll find out how wrong that is. And his co-writer on this is Jeff Phillips. No lie, I want to see the other stuff he's written, which are things like Treehouse Hostage, and I downloaded Ghost. This man might be money. I might need to look into Jeff Phillips. Starring Hulk Hogan, the Hulkster, man who told us to say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and violently assault Richard Belzer on television. Big in pro wrestling, but you know, that's not the only place he was ever big, judging by his films. And his confusing statements about the George Foreman grill. But I think his movies are a mark on American cinema. They need to be talked about. And who better than me? Well, I'm pretty sure Brian Zane reviewed some of these. And Victor Wong, you may know him from Big Trouble in Little China, is Egg Shen. Probably his career-defining work. He's also in Tremors, Prince of Darkness, and a number of other things. This is sadly, his final film. And what a way to go. Release date on this was April 10th, 1998. It came out the same week. City of Angels. Now, Wings of Desire is a Wim Wenders film. It's a touching, slow burn of an absolutely beautiful movie that reflects on the nature of life, what it means to be a person, and what would you give up to experience the world as someone else. They took that beautiful movie, and now it has Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan yawning through scenes in a formulaic romance comedy. It's not a really terrible film, but it hardly compared to the lofty heights of the original, and they shouldn't have tried. And My Giant, movie about Billy Crystal and a giant guy, which honestly I've seen worse Billy Crystal movies, and it's not actually as bad as I would have expected. I wanted to rip this movie, but I think it's got more heart than you might expect. Moving to the plot, Maury continues the training of his grandsons Rocky, Tum Tum, and Colt, the titular three ninjas, in, well, ninja training. They do well in the lights, but fail in darkness, proving they have a lot to learn. Colt and Rocky are getting older and are growing out of the ninja lifestyle, much to Maury and Tum Tum's dismay. It's also Tum Tum's birthday tomorrow. We have to say the kid's name a bunch, and I can't stop laughing every time I say it. And he is having his birthday at the giant amusement park, Mega Mountain. Simultaneously, his favorite TV show, a Power Rangers ripoff, starring a man by the name of Dave Dragon, who's Hulk Hogan, is hosting his final show at said park, conveniently. Of course, that's not all that's going on, as Ernest himself, Jim Varney, and Lonnie Anderson have assembled a crack... Jim Varney and Lonnie Anderson. Oh, my God. Have assembled a... I watched this, and I don't... They've assembled a crack team of terrorists, including a Jamaican guy, Beavis and Butthead, Fat Guy, and various men who get beat up by children. They attack the park, slowly infiltrating the command network and taking the entire park hostage. Not that anyone really notices. Their plan, they want $10 million. It leads to the kids teaming up with Dave Dragon as they slowly beat up the terrorists in many, many slightly varied ways. Of course, Dave is kidnapped. Some of their friends are put in peril, leading to the ninjas to reaffirm their love of ninjaing, gaining a girl hacker in their ranks, saving all the friends. In the end, Dave and the kids kill most of the terrorists, blowing up their boat, but Lonnie Anderson is taken prisoner. The kids love ninjaing again, much to the happiness of Grandpa Maury, and they make sure Dave is heralded as the hero he is, who gets a contract extension on his show. Now, first and foremost, I want to read something that is on the Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain wiki. This is on the official wiki. It is on there. Reads, the cult following for this movie was due in part to Hulk Hogan defecating openly in a field for an unedited and uninterrupted 30-minute sequence. Although this scene was originally cut from the movie, it later appeared in full on the DVD release. Whoever did this, you're beautiful and I love you. If it had been cut from the wiki since the release of this film, I do have screenshots, so let me know if you want to see it. That being said, let's do a pro-cons for this movie. There is some. The fight scenes, fight scenes, which they were numerous, were fairly well choreographed. They feel and look about as good as kids fighting adults can look. And Hulk Hogan looks good as a big bruiser here. Colt, if that's the kid who played him, doing a lot of the stunts, was exceptionally good in this film. No issue there. Hulk Hogan, the Man of the Month, was, I say good in this, but good in perspective. Ironically, for the same reason I didn't like him in Secret Agent Club, because in that, he was presented as the main character, having him show up at the beginning, and at the end, made no sense. Made no sense in that. But in this, he's a guest star. See him showing up, then going away until the last 20 minutes for the big fun fight. Made sense. And since he was acting with mostly children, he didn't do too bad here. Now, there was a strange scene where he's stalking Jim Varney through a crowd, but he's shirtless, wearing red tights, and is also like a massive giant man. Can you imagine being snuck up on by Hulk Hogan? I guess that's Bubba Love Sponge's wife. This is Victor Wong's final film, as mentioned earlier. Just want to give the man props again. He's in the pros column, of course. This movie, by the way, is entirely my speculation, as I have not, nor will I probably ever see the other Three Ninjas movies. This is the fourth movie in the series, by the by. But it seems like a very pro-adoption film. Grandpa Mori is Asian. The mother of the Three Ninjas is not. The kids are not, and all of the kids do not look like the parents. So I just assume everyone is adopted, and it's treated with a very natural, normal, and healthy thing. And I like that. Support the message, even if it's unintentional, but it's the message I see in the movie. Despite many issues, which I will talk about in a moment, there were arcs in this. Rocky, Colt, and Ninjing, had the arc. And in that, even Rocky and his family, he wants to be seen cool by his school friends and his girlfriend. Dave's TV show getting canceled and renewed. The kids helping with that. Because he almost got no credit at the end. But they were like, hey, this guy's a hero. He did a lot of work. So there were some positive messages here and some story arcs that went through, the motions. But they were there. And it was nice that they were cohesive in some fashion. Now, as far as the cons, I try to judge kids' movies on a sliding scale of a thing. I'm an adult, so it's not fair to me to judge them by adult standards. That being said, I also have a 2-year-old, and I'm an unbiased Power Rangers Super Sentai fan. This movie feels very much like a Power Rangers episode. That being said, a bad one. It's an hour and a half with a plot that literally can fit into 24 minutes plus commercials. It drags out these extended fight scenes to a degree that, I said the choreography looks good, but it has to because that's 60% of the film. As I mentioned, having a problem with kids fighting adults before, it just looks so silly. I gave that a pass because it's literally the premise of the franchise, but give me a break. It also feels the whole movie like a bottle episode. They stay at this park for the entire film, and they get there within the first 15 minutes. I think they paid for the place. By God, they're going to get their money out of it. The villains, Jim Varney, really, what a waste of this guy. I mean, not that he's much of an actor, but he's better than this. And they made a big stink about revealing Lonnie Anderson as the bad guy, like she's relevant to kids in 1998. She's a mediocre TV actress from the 70s and 80s. Kids didn't care who she was. She wasn't a sex symbol in 1998. That's not even an insult on her. She wasn't. And the adults watching didn't care because she was never all that famous. It's just a weird thing to make a big show of having her as the bad guy. Also, they have a military boat, like a big one, a freighter, and mercenaries, hackers, advanced weapons, and she's asking for $10 million. Baby, your whole operation has to cost more than $10 million. This is Dr. Evil levels of low balling. It makes no sense. You're making me make an Austin Powers joke. It's that bad. Also, they take this whole park hostage, but literally all the rides still run. People are still walking around, getting concessions, like nothing's happened. They're playing games. It's not like they don't know, because not only can new people not come into the park because the police have surrounded it, but no one can leave, and the terrorists have actively been engaging in open gunfights with the police all day. But yeah, the teacups, I gotta get that cotton candy. Did they film this at the actual park during the day when it was open and not have extras, just had people that were there? It was ridiculous. The acting in general is about what you might expect. Poor to exceptionally bad. Though I try not to criticize child actors too much, as I want to give Tum Tum a special award for being exceptionally bad. Soundtracks, what you might expect from a Power Rangers ripoff, TV show level productions. All generic sort of action-y themes with goofy stuff for the supposed funny scenes. Nothing. There was nothing here. Nothing bad, though. Overall, I might have enjoyed the uninterrupted Hulk Hogan poo a little bit more than Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain. Is it the worst Three Ninjas film? I'm going to go ahead and assume so, as it's the last one they made. They couldn't get almost any of the cast back, and no one has mentioned the Three Ninjas outside of Hulk Hogan movies since 1998. What was Hulk Hogan doing in WCW at the time this movie came out? Well, it was Spring Stampede 1998, and he and Kevin Nash beat Roddy Piper and the Giant in a baseball bat on a pole match. So about similar quality of work going on there as was here for the Hulkster. So I recommend 3 Noons get high on Mega Mountain or whatever? No, not at all. Watch Power Rangers, or if you're better, watch Super Sentai. Of course, Sentai's a Zero-Ranger. I mean, I like Jetman better, but whatever you want. Well, that was... I don't want to have to say the name again. I've said it enough, and it's too long. It's a ninja movie with kids. What ninja movies do you think I should review? I'm actually a fairly avid martial arts movie fan, at least older school ones. Maybe I should dip into that. So let me know down below. Also subscribe. Add me on Instagram under Demon Peaks for daily Twin Peaks memes. Check out my podcast, the Dark Peaks Podcast. Come back next week for the end of Hulk Hogan month, as you look at not the Ultimate Warrior, but the Ultimate Weapon. This has been Nito Makai, Master of Minds and Men. Thank you very much, and goodbye.